Hey, good evening, everybody. Pastor Chris here, Soul Revival Biker Church, with another episode of our Tuesday Testimonials. And guys, we are just hoping that this will bless someone out there, encourage someone that the Lord can do something in your life. And tonight I have Mr. Darren Humphreys from our Mountain Movers. And he's here to share his testimony with you, all the way from Mississippi. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, Pastor Chris. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. How you calm? You nervous?
Nah, I'm fine.
You fine?
I'm good.
I love what he said. We was just talking about social distancing. He said, God's got me. I told him I ain't been worried about social distancing at all. That I'm covered in the blood, and if this virus can penetrate the blood, then bring it on. That's all we got. So we're going to get into a little bit of his past. And we're going to start with the childhood.
Yes. Well,
did you come to know God? I mean, were you raised with the church? What was going on?
my family was basically church driven, but after a while, you get, you know what I'm saying, like some churches ain't for everybody. So I guess you can call it like church hurt.
Church hurt, baby. We know all about church hurt. That's what Soul Revival is based on. It's built for people who were church hurt. Was your church hurt personal, or was it through a family member?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
My mom, she was real big into the church, and like things didn't go out well with her. So when she got out, she took her side.
Right. All right. And so you had told me that you really started going astray about 14?
Yeah. My mom, she dated a lot of like, how can I say, like thuggish guys.
Gangbangers.
Yes. So I tried to follow in their footsteps. I was pretty good in school, but doing what they did seemed more exciting to me. So
Right.
I followed that path.
So would you say there was a history in your family of drug or alcohol abuse?
Yeah, actually I come from a family of alcoholics, actually. They didn't really, we had a few that did like hard drugs here and there, but as a whole, we came from a family of alcoholics.
So did you deal with alcoholism?
Oh, yes. I've been drinking since I was a kid. They used to pass, you know how your dad passes you a beer?
Right.
My uncle's passing me like bottles of Crown.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that definitely puts you on a path. So what, were you ever affiliated with gangs?
Yes. I joined the gang when I was like 14 years old.
Okay.
I guess I can say Gangster Disciples.
Okay.
Very bad. It was a tough time for me, going through a lot.
Right. Well, it gives us another sense of family.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's the wrong type of family.
Oh, we know that. We know that. So, as you grew older, you graduated high school?
Yes. I graduated, went to the military for a little bit, got dishonorably discharged, but then I went to college.
Okay. All right. You went to college?
Yeah, Mississippi State. Go
All right.
Bulldogs.
Okay. Awesome. So, may I ask why you got kicked out of the military?
Let's just say I shouldn't have let things go along as it should, even though it kept my unit, in my opinion, safe. But and instead of them getting kicked out, I took the blunt of the punishment and got this on the discharge for it.
Scapegoat.
That part.
I got you. I got you. And so after you got out of the military, is that maybe when things started to spiral a little?
Yeah. Depression, a lot of depression, a lot of hopes that I had was kind of crushed.
So how'd you deal with that depression?
Started back smoking marijuana, heavy, drinking heavily, basically, and then I started doing cocaine.
Okay. That's an expensive one.
Very expensive.
Okay. And so what made you realize you needed to get some help?
I started going out of my norm. I started doing things that I told myself I would never do. I felt like I was lowering my expectations for myself, as well as like not reaching my full potential.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned something to me that part of that was you'd done something you'd never done before in your life.
Yes, I started stealing.
Okay.
I consider myself like hiking to like an honest addict.
An honest addict.
I know you never heard of it in your life, but
That is an
it's like,
oxymoron.
yeah, that part. But I see it as like you can still do your habit, but not be like all criminal activity about it.
Right. Oh, there's a lot of functioning addicts, brother. There's a lot of guys that work 40-hour-a-week jobs that are still addicts, and they make enough money to support it, but they don't have anything else really. We all know about that. It doesn't just affect the poor or misfortunate. So what took you to realizing that you had to do something different and going to Mountain Movers?
I basically hit rock bottom. I started stealing, started like basically trying to hustle people out of their money and stuff like that. It was something that my pride
Okay.
was basically lowering down. So I ran into friends of mine, Heather and Sunshine, Heather Young from Off of Him Ministry.
Now, we are, if any of y'all watched our service Friday night, you heard me talk about we're about to start a food drive, and that is for All for Him Ministries. Miss Heather's feeding people about 3 days a week. We provide food for Mountain Movers, Freedom House, and her ministry, All for Him, as well. But they're needing a lot more food right now because of the COVID virus. I mean, we were just talking about the fact that a lot of people are one paycheck away from being homeless, and the number of homeless in Nashville is multiplying out of control, and we need to feed these people. And so that's a good time for you to look up our website, www.soulrevivalbikerchurch.com/give, and donate so we can help get more food to these people, and that we'll be able to start a food drive here in the church for them. So that's a blessing for me to hear that they're the reason you got in the program.
Oh yes, for like over a year, they would come to our camp and always give us food, always give us words of comfort and stuff like that. When Heather Young saw me at my rock bottom, and I told her I basically needed help, and she told me about Mountain Movers, and I just basically told her just call them up. I was just ready.
Now, where were you living when she talked to you?
I was staying behind a McDonald's.
Ow!
Actually, I was homeless.
Right downtown Nashville?
Right downtown Nashville, off Broadway.
Off Broadway.
I'm pretty sure if anybody rode through Broadway last year, you pretty much seen me.
All right. So, how long you been in Mountain Movers?
Going on 4 months now. I'm working on my 4th month right now.
All right. Well, praise God. Are you feeling anything happening to you?
Oh yes. I'm getting closer back. I'm getting my relationship back with God.
Right.
At first, I was questioning my walk, but it has not been easy. It has not been easy at all.
Oh no, it's surrendering.
But like you said, we was talking earlier, it's a process.
It is.
But that process, for every step that you make, God is making 2 or 3, 4 for you.
Right.
And so I keep it in that mind, and like I'm a whole lot better off than what I was prior to me going to Mountain Movers.
Right on. And like we said, it's hard. I mean, when you've lived on the streets and you've been a survivor, we tend to feel like we've done this, that we were in control when all the time God was in control. And so it's hard for us to surrender to authority, period.
Yeah.
Whether it's the staff at Mountain Movers, whether it's God, whether it's just sharing a room with somebody you don't know. It's hard to surrender to those fleshly feelings.
Yeah.
And but prayer does amazing things.
Yes, it does.
And we're hoping that God will continue to work on you.
I'm praying so as well.
And Soul Revival, you're here. You come on Friday night. If there's anything we need, you need prayer, you raise your hand at the altar. We come pray with you. Man, I gave you a little bit of my testimony. And if God can change me from what I was to doing what I'm doing now, bro, he's got you, no problem.
Yeah, I know he does. I have my faith.
All right. Well, brother, I appreciate you being on here, and I hope that his testimony has encouraged you and gave you hope that no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're going through, no matter how old you are, how young you are, it's never too late to turn your life over to Christ. It's never too late to surrender everything to Christ and let him have full control, and just watch how your life will change. So thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and we will see you next week. And again, please, if you want to help us, help them. It's Soul Revival Biker Church. I forgot, www.com, soulrevivalbikerchurch.com/give. That's a mouthful. Y'all try to remember it. Anyway, thank y'all so much, and we will see you next Tuesday.